Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. Uh, as the title suggests, yes, I got pulled over by law enforcement on one of the days that I was out recording a video. Now, when that video comes up, you guys will know what city that I got pulled over in. But I just want to give you guys a little context to the footage that you're getting ready to see. Now, for starters, the reason why they pulled me over was because, well, before they even pulled me over, the I observed the officer following me from my rearview mirror. I mean, he was following me for a good, I want to say a good uh, 5 to 10 minutes. I don't remember exactly how long. But when he first began to follow me, I turned one way, he turned another way. And I just kept on going because I've driven out to this location and I wanted to go ahead and get the video done. And I wasn't doing anything illegal, so, I wanted to get the video done. And then about after I want to say maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, I see the same officer again. And he kept on following me. Every time I turned, he turned. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, finally, he lit me up, so I pulled over. And then when he asked me, he knocked on my door, and he immediately asked me for my driver's license and my registration, so I provided all that to him. And then he told me that the reason why I was being pulled over was because I made a couple of turns and neglected to use my signal. Now, I'm going to let you guys know right now that you're not going to hear the entire conversation between me and the officer, because a part of the conversation will be on the video that I will be uploading of that particular city that I did a tour in. Because what happened was, when I got pulled over, I didn't bother to stop the video and then turn it towards me and press the record button again. I just left the video on. I continued the video. And then I got to thinking after about a couple of minutes that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and I'm going to do a new video of me being pulled over by law enforcement. So that's what I did. So now that part of the video you guys will see momentarily here. So let's go ahead and watch that video, and then I'll come back and I'll give you guys more commentary.
All right, Andrew. There's that stuff. Oops, there's that stuff. Right. Drive safe. Please return. Please use the turn signal.
Okay.
That's all I ask.
Okay, no problem.
I just, like I said, there's a couple times I saw it, and then you're just kind of random driving around, like, and then being out of state. It's like somebody usually out of state, they're going one place or another, or just traveling through. So it just kind of seemed a little odd.
Okay.
But no big deal. You got a story for it? Makes sense to me.
All right.
All right, man.
I appreciate you.
Have a good one. Hey,
You
what's
too.
your YouTube channel?
Andrew's Life.
Andrew's Life. I'll check it out.
All right. I appreciate
All
you.
right, man. Take care.
All right, too. All right, folks. You watched the video. At least I hope you did. And I realized the video was boring. Nothing exciting. You know, nothing exciting went on in that video. I get it. I got it. Now, what you guys saw in that video is typically what happens when I get pulled over by law enforcement. Now, I've been pulled over by law enforcement several times. I do a lot of driving. I do a lot of traveling. And I've been doing a lot of traveling since I was in my early 20s. So I've been pulled over my fair share of times by law enforcement. And every time I get pulled over, what you guys saw on that little video that I played, is basically what happens. Because basically when I get pulled over, typically I stay quiet and I stay still. And I listen closely for any kind of demands that they might give. You know, just to be on the safe. Just so nothing... Because my attitude is when I get pulled over, I don't give these officers any type of ammunition whatsoever to do anything to me other than if I committed a moving violation, they can give me a ticket. That's all they're going to be able to do to me legally. Now, obviously, if they give me a ticket and I don't agree with it, then my attitude is, hey, I got my day in court. I'll go ahead and fight it in court. I'm not going to sit here and try to fight nothing out here in these streets because it's not worth it. You know, things get very heated and escalated. And if you're dealing with an officer that's dirty, then it's just going to be a messed up situation. Now, fortunately, in the cases that I've been pulled over, that, you know, the accusations that I've been accused of have all been accurate. So sometimes they give me a ticket, and then obviously I'll pay the ticket and deal with the ding on my driver's record for the next few years, and life goes on. But there's been a lot of times I've been pulled over, and I have not received no ticket. Because I think what happened in those cases is the officer is appreciative of me not making their job any harder than what it already is in many cases. So I make their life easy, they make my life easy, and we all have a good day. And I just wanted to show you this footage because for those of you that fear law enforcement, I mean, I know there's a fair number of you, especially some of you younger folks out here that look like me that fear law enforcement. And, you know, you fear law enforcement to the point where if they light you up, you don't bother to pull over. You might continue to drive. You might speed, and then you're in a high-speed pursuit. And then when they get you, the situation is going to be 10 times worse than what it would have been initially. So I make this video to also show you that there is no need to fear law enforcement. Now, do bad things happen in the hands of law enforcement to certain people? Of course they do. I'm not going to sit here and say they don't. But I'm going to say for the most part, like when I say the most part, I'm talking 90% of the time at least. Most law enforcement officials, you know, just like me and you, they come into work, they do their job, and at the end of the day, they desire to go home to their family in one piece uninjured. And then after about 25 years, give or take, they desire to retire and collect a pension for the years of hard work and putting their life on the line for the safety of the public. Most officers, that's how they think, that's how they are. Now, sadly, the ones who do all the extra stuff, those are the officers that get all the publicity, which is not fair to law enforcement. Because I know personally that there's a lot of good law enforcement officials out here that just do their job. And that's it. They don't be into all that extra crooked stuff. in that video that you guys saw, and this goes out especially to all you young black men out there. If you get pulled over, that video that you saw of me getting pulled over, or of me pull over rather, that is gonna most likely be your fate when you get pulled over. I mean, when you get pulled over, just, if they light you up, just go ahead, do as they tell you, pull over. When they ask you for your credentials, like your driver's license and your registration, go ahead, get all that out. In fact, it would be a good idea to have your registration ready to go. That way, when they pull you over, you can just grab it along with your license out of your wallet, hand it over to law enforcement. They do their thing. And while they do their thing, your best bet is to stay in the car, stay quiet, stay still. Don't make no kind of sudden moves. Kind of like what you saw me do on that video. And as long as you do that, you will have no problems. Now, obviously, if you're riding dirty or you have warrants and things of that nature, then, it is what it is. You're going to most likely get arrested and go to jail. And, it is what it is. But assuming that you're driving legal and you're clean, you ain't got nothing going on, and you get pulled over, you have absolutely no reason to fear law enforcement. I mean, don't let the 5 to 10% of law enforcement officials have you feeling some kind of way about all law enforcement officers. And I know for some of you, you're going to look at me, you're going to call me all kind of names, you're going to call me Uncle Tom Sambo, whatever. I don't care. Call me that. I could care less. All I know is I'm 44 years old. I'm clean. I have no criminal record. I've never been to jail, never been to prison. I never had to pay any kind of fines in relation to doing anything I shouldn't be doing other than maybe a moving violation. I mean, I never been in trouble by the law before, so, call me what you want to call me. I don't care. I just make videos like this every so often because I want other people who look like me especially to understand that you do not need to fear law enforcement. And even if you fear law enforcement, take my word, the best thing that you can do is to do exactly what they tell you to do. When they light you up, immediately find a safe place and then immediately pull over. Whatever they ask you to do, even though you may not agree with it, as long as it's within reason, just shut the hell up and do it. Don't sit around and try to recite the laws to them. Half you guys don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anyway, so, and please don't put yourself in a jam to where you want to recite the laws. And then you piss them off, and now, they're going to do God knows what to you. Now, granted, if that happens, do I condone that? No, I don't. But unfortunately, you got certain officers out here that, they don't play no kind of games. So if you make their life hard, they're going to make your life hard. And it is what it is. So the best thing that you can do to shorten the time that you got to spend with law enforcement, if you were to get pulled over like I got pulled over, is to pull over immediately as soon as you find a safe place to do so. And then do exactly what they tell you to do. As long as it's within reason. And honestly, if you really feel that their conduct is questionable, you can always file a complaint with the department later. If they give you a ticket and you don't agree with the violation, that ticket will have your day in court. Take advantage of that. What if you go to court and you lose? Well, I might lose my case. Then what do I do? Okay, you lose your case. Well, you got a couple of choices. A, you can fight it again. B, you can accept your losses. Any which way you choose to go, at the end of the day, you will still be alive. Your family will not have to plan your funeral because you chose to be stupid. You will not be locked up because you chose to be stupid. You will not have any further fines or citations because you chose to be stupid. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I mean, I just get so sick and tired of people who look like me making videos to where they get pulled over by law enforcement, and then they're doing a whole bunch of extra shit because they want to, they want views for their for their uh for their social media platform, which it pisses me off because A, not only does it make people like myself look bad, people that are law-abiding citizens, but B, for those of you younger folk out here, you're going to get the idea that it's going to be all fun and games to disobey law enforcement, and then you're going to find out the hard way how serious of an offense that could be. And sadly, you got certain officers out here that they ain't playing no kind of games. You make their life hard, even in the smallest of ways, your life could be over. And again, I don't condone that. I'm just being realistic, however. So, even though you fear law enforcement for whatever reason you may have to fear law enforcement, the best thing that you can do, and I'm going to reiterate this one more time, if they light you up, pull over. When they ask you for your driver's license and your registration, immediately get that out and hand it over to law enforcement. Don't sit there and try to recite the law. Don't give them that BS about you're black, you're indigenous, or you're sovereign citizen. Don't do that. Because if you do, you're going to put yourself in a jam. And I'm going to leave it like that. So if you do what they tell you to do, you will, doing what they tell you to do, and exactly that, and nothing more, nothing extra. Not only will you shorten the time that you have to deal with them, but you will most likely drive away unharmed. You will not be arrested. You will not be arrested. You will not be in jail, and everything will be good. I would say at least 90% of the time, that's how that works. That boring footage that you saw of me sitting on the side of the road with the police sirens in the rearview mirror is most likely going to be your fate when you get pulled over. So please, for the sake of yourself, for the sake of your family, for the sake of anyone who you give a damn about, don't do like some of these other clowns out here and disobey law enforcement and then sit there and try to be combative. Because if you do, bad things could happen. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. Oh, and by the way, the officers that did pull me over, I'm not sure I mentioned this earlier, but just in case I didn't, I'm gonna mention this again, just to be fair. The officers that did pull me over, they were professional about what they did. They did it in a very professional manner. And despite the fact that they saw me turn twice without using a turn signal, now I don't remember doing that. And when they pulled me over and they told me I did that, I did not argue. I just gave them my stuff and let them do what they do, and I just sat here quietly. But anyways, they were nice, they were professional, and no, I did not get a ticket. They gave me a warning. They gave me a verbal warning. And he told me, you know what? Your story makes sense. Because he asked me what I was doing in the community, what I was doing in town. And I told him that I was recording footage of his city. Because, you'll see, you'll get to hear what I said once I upload the video of the city that I got pulled over in. You'll hear the rest of what I said before, you'll hear the first part of the video basically. But basically, to make a long story short, You know, what I told him made sense to him. He did not give me a ticket. He just gave me a warning and sent me on my way. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. So next time you get lit up by law enforcement, just remember this video. And on that note, stay blessed, be safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.